Hello and welcome to the Inside Scoop. My name is Jennifer Johnson, and today we'll be discussing the book Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. The first character we'll be talking with today is Montag, who faces the most decision-making and the most conflict in this novel.
Thanks, Jim. Hello, everyone. I'm glad to be here today.
Oh, it's no problem, Montag. According to Ray Bradbury, you face a lot of stress at the beginning of the novel when you meet Clarice. How do you feel when you first confronted her?
Well, when I was walking home from work, I noticed her. She was such a strange character. She spoke with such intelligence of the world. She was really life-changing. For the first time in my life, I felt a true connection with someone. We had a real conversation with real thoughts. Our first conversation really helped me decide things as the book progressed.
Wow, that is truly wonderful. Bradbury really made Clarice a powerful character. She influenced your actions from the very beginning. Now about Mildred. How do you think your guys' relationship went in the book?
Oh, yes, Mildred. Our relationship could have been much better. She would never have engaged in real life conversations with me. All she ever wanted to do was watch her family in her parlor. All her days she spent in front of that stupid thing.
That's so sad. The society your characters lived in seems so unhappy. Speaking of this strange society, what made you realize that you wanted to read books and break the laws to do so?
Oh, that decision was a very strong turning point for my character. You see, when I was out on the job and we had to burn the books of an elderly, stubborn woman, however, this burning was different. The woman would not leave her books and said she wouldn't let us burn her books. So instead of us doing the burning, she struck her own match and set her home ablaze. That's when I realized that there must be something special about books that I was missing out on. I just had to find out what that thing was.
It's a touching piece to share. I remember when I first read the passage of the book, I was so overwhelmed with the woman's actions. That's incredible that she believed so strongly in reading books and in thought. Do you think that her actions were justifiable?
Most definitely. As my character proceeded throughout his adventures, he began to realize this himself. Some things are actually worth dying for.
Wow, what a powerful statement. Thank you so much for your time, but we need to bring in the next character to stay on schedule.
Oh, of course, I understand. Thanks for having me today.
No, thank you. Now for our next character, Clarice. Clarice is a young and curious girl who enjoys hiking, nature, and asking a lot of questions. She's a beautiful young lady with great ideas on how life should be. She's very independent and seen as a crazy outcast in the society they live in. Here she is now. Hello, Clarice.
Hello, thanks for having me today.
My pleasure. What do you got there?
Oh, it's a sketchbook. I really like to draw nature.
So, Bradbury describes you directly and indirectly as a very strange girl. Would you agree with this description?
In some ways I would. For the society we all lived in, I was an outcast. I like to truly live my life to its potential. My uncle always said everyone used to live this way. People used to have real conversations with one another, and were always learning new things. Now all people ever want to do is drive fast, watch parlor walls, and sit around absent-minded. It was dreadful.
I see. So, before you came in, I was speaking with Montag. He spoke quite fondly of you. He says you were a life changer. How do you feel about that?
Wow, he's such a great guy. I don't know how he's a fireman. His personality really doesn't fit it. He was really curious himself, and he wasn't unbrainwashed like everyone else. I thoroughly enjoyed my conversations with him.
Well, the fireman position has been passed down a total of 3 generations in the family. Also, why would you use the word unbrainwashed? That's a very interesting choice of wording. Why did you pick this word to describe how he was different from the rest of the society?
Everyone was brain dead. They had no life to them whatsoever. They showed no true emotions, had no true relationships, and held no true thoughts. Everything was taken away from them right under their feet, without them even noticing. It's dreadful the way everything was in the story. I'm just glad I could help Montag at least realize the world corrupts. Helping one is better than helping none.
Marvelous. The thoughts that you had on the subject, I couldn't have said it any better. Just from these few minutes with you, I felt touched. You're such an inspiring girl. Thank you for being here today.
Oh, it's more than fine. I think I'm going to go take a walk in the park anyways. Thanks for having me today.
You're welcome. Now for our next character, Mildred. Bradbury indirectly refers to her as more of a quiet type. She does not participate in very many meaningful conversations unless they involve her parlor walls. Therefore, we may have a tough time trying to get answers out of her today. Here she comes now. Good afternoon, Miss Montag.
Hi.
Would you mind taking out your earbuds for us? The interview would go a lot more smoothly. Okay.
No thanks, they're more comfortable.
Okay, sorry for asking. Moving on, I just recently had your husband in here, Guy Montag. He was in here for an interview, obviously. How would you say your relationship is with him in the novel? Mildred.
Oh, yeah, we're fine.
I see. Now, at the beginning of the book, you suffered from an attempt at suicide, correct? What was going through your head when you did this? What led you to do it?
I don't remember any suicide. I haven't ever committed suicide or tried.
You know how you overdosed on the sleeping pills?
I do take sleeping pills, but I never overdose.
That one night when Guy was late home?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. What led you later on in the story to turn over your own husband to the firemen for having books?
Well, it was against the law, and I didn't want to lose all my stuff, especially my parlor walls.
I guess that's a good reason. Well, we appreciate you coming out here today, even with your busy schedule.
Yeah, I gotta go anyways. I gotta go watch my white clown. Comes on in 10 minutes. Gotta go. Bye.
Hello, the next character we'll be interviewing today is Beatty, the chief fireman of Guy Montag's fire department. He is indirectly noted as a well-read man, yet he hates books and their effect on people. He strongly supports the censorship of the government and the way the society is ran as a whole. Here he comes now. Hello, Beatty. What do you have there? Is that a mechanical hound?
No, this is just Fire Dog Joe. He comes with me on my book burning runs.
Cool. Throughout this novel, Bradbury symbolically describes you as the devil through your actions and thoughts. How do you feel about this?
I feel as though they exaggerate my thoughts and actions extremely.
Interesting. So, your intelligence, where does it come from? It can't be from books, can it?
Are you absurd? Of course not. I just happen to be extremely enlightened about my past. I just catch up on things easily and pay attention. Besides, I'm head chief. I'm supposed to know these things. How can I protect society against the harmful things in life if I don't know them myself?
I suppose you do make a valid point. So, onto your title. You're considered a book burner, right? What sensation or feeling do you receive by burning books? Do you feel like you're burning away the past or just knowledge in general?
I feel a sense of pleasure and accomplishment. I mean, I'm just doing my job. Maybe I am burning the past, but books are bad for these people. They are not allowed and won't ever be again. Our society relies on censorship to keep it stabilized. We cannot let anyone read otherwise. They may not gain too much intelligence, power, and confidence in themselves.
Well,
there goes Fire Dog Joe.
Well, isn't that a bit ironic since you did that yourself?
Why, of course not. Why, of course. I have not done such a thing as read books. I'm stuttering like crazy.
Just keep going. We can edit that out. I don't know.
Just go.
That would go against the laws of the society, not to mention my own beliefs. Doing that would be like dentist always eating candy when he tells his patients not to.
Well, I suppose that is true. But do you really believe what the government is doing is sane and good for the people?
Well, of course it is good for the people. They deserve happiness, and that is what I provide. Books only bring controversy and conflicting beliefs and answers. Not to mention nearly every book in the past gave distinct biased opinions and often hurt many groups of people in some ways, shape, or form.
Yes, but...
That's all I'm willing to answer for this pointless interview. Good day to you, ma'am.
Well, he seemed a bit irritated. That's alright. We're on to our next interview anyways. By the way, this is our final character we'll be interviewing today, which is Faber, a retired English professor who, until Montag, hid from the world shyly with his books. Here he comes now. Good evening, Faber.
Hello. Pleasure to meet you today.
You too. So, you're alright with us asking you questions, correct?
Of course, Jim.
Okay. So, our first question is, how did you feel when Montag came to you for help with reading? Were you surprised, nervous? relieved, or anywhere in between?
Well, I had a mix of those feelings when I first met him. I was really relieved that he wanted help and wanted to learn to read. But, at the same time, I was very suspicious because, a fireman, after all those years, he just wouldn't want to come and just want to learn how to read all of a sudden. It's very fishy, I thought he was going to try to turn me over or something. I was very scared. It was probably the scariest time of my life.
I can totally understand how you probably must have felt.
Yes.
Now, if we understand correctly, you love reading and just obtaining knowledge in general, right?
Of course. I'm an English professor.
That's what I was thinking. So, how do you feel about the book? It's the society you lived in. People are getting paid to burn books and pretty much everything in the past knowledge.
It really made me sick to my stomach. I just couldn't stand the thought of them wanting to burn books. They were so rare and so useful back then in that society, and they just burned it away like it was nothing. I just couldn't believe it. They would do such a thing. I mean, they're used to obtain knowledge, and they're so good. I can't see anything wrong with them. What is their issue? I don't know.
Very strong opinions you made there, Faber.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You said in your past explanation that this society you once lived in seemed horrid. Could you explain in 3 words how the society was described, I guess?
Yeah, thoughtless would definitely be one of them, They never really thought. It was just horrible. Dull, they didn't think. It was just dreadful. And then blind. Definitely blind.
You say blind?
Yes, blind.
What do you mean by the word blind?
Well, there's a little bit more of a deeper meaning when I say that. I mean, they didn't really see the world like they should have. Didn't really experience it. They were always so interested in their parlor walls and driving fast and being very irresponsible. They never really took the little things in life. Didn't really register everything.
Very deep, Faber. So, when Montai came to your house when he was on the run, what sort of techniques or things did you do to hide the scent from the mechanical hound?
Oh, so you mean to make Montai not smell like himself? To get away?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, you see, we had took a lot of precautions for that because we really didn't want him to get caught, of course. We dressed him up in my daddy's clothes, very dirty clothes, and, we covered him, we got him alcohol and all this smelly things.
Whiskey, correct?
Whiskey, yes, that type of alcohol. And then, of course, we made the whole rooms and all the houses everywhere he touched not smell like him anymore. That was more difficult to do. We got it, I believe. And then, as he left, we put on the sprinklers to really hide the smell of him. And then he ran off towards the railroad tracks and the river, and then
that's where
went on from there.
Yeah. So, this is a very great interview, and we really appreciate you spending time and just giving us these great answers.
It's no problem, ma'am. I really enjoy sharing my opinions. I like stepping out in the world these days, not being my shy self like I used to be.
You pretty much spent your time hiding in the shadows, correct?
I really did.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for your time. I hope the rest of your day is great. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye.
No problem, ma'am. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Indeed. Have fun with your English class.
I will. I love teaching.
Well, that wraps it up for today, everyone. Thanks for watching our character interview with me, Jen Johnson. Please watch Inside Scoop next week. See you again.